Hello, I'm Chris. Welcome back to Marine Corner. Hope you're doing well and having a good week so far. I was going to film my wrap up of the books I've read, which are just up there on the end. There. But I was a bit tired last night and just wanted to unwind. So I'm planning on doing it at some point this weekend. So I'm just going to do a bit of a Friday reads, weekend reads. I've got some fun stuff planned that I want to read. Some stuff that I'm carrying on reading. And some new stuff that I've never read before, and also a graphic novel. So I just thought I'd go ahead with this. So I'm currently reading You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Yourself, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. Really enjoying this. I'm reading this like 2 chapters a day. I've not read my chapters today yet, so I'm going to take some time after filming this to read those chapters. But yeah, it's a really good book. It's really interesting. It's pushing me to do what I want to achieve, and I want to achieve my pass my exams, and I want to start writing. So I feel like it's making me need to push forward with that, which is good. I'm just looking for somewhere to put them. So yeah, and then next up, I finished The Sympathizer, which is on my February wrap-up and January wrap-up, which I'm going to do as one video. But then I decided to read The Committed, because I really like the cover of it, apart from that sticker that's unfortunately having to remain. I'm only on chapter 5 of this, but I'm enjoying it. I'm planning on reading another chapter and then I'll be on part 2. So yeah, but it's quite good. I feel like the first book was good, but I feel like, I don't know, I think I enjoyed the first book more so far, but out of the first 5 chapters in both, but I prefer the shape of this cover, and I prefer the shape of this and the cover. But yeah, it's really good. It's about like a guy, you never know his name, who is basically a spy in the first one, and then this carries on his story. But it's really good so far. Enjoying it. So I'm going to carry on with that. I've also got a big book on the go that I want to get back to and carry on reading. I am quite far into it. It is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I put it down due to going away, and unfortunately that didn't happen, but because I put it down, I was reading smaller books that I could carry around with me. So unfortunately it's got put on the back burner, but I did read some last weekend. But then I decided, because I was reading Sympathizer, I decided I wanted to read The Committed, so this got put on a back burner again. But I've been really enjoying this. I just need to catch up. I'm on chapter 14 of volume 3 part 2, so as you can see, that's the start. I've read more than I've got left, so I plan on finishing that as soon as I finish The Committed, because I feel at the minute I've got 3 books on the go, which is something I was avoiding at first. I'm quite happy to read You Are a Badass, but I don't really want to have War and Peace and The Committed. So yeah, so I need to. So I'm planning on reading some of this weekend, but it just became a bit like it's uncomfortable to read in bed because it's so big. It's uncomfortable. It's like I'm taking a bag for work for my studying stuff, and I could just throw a paperback in, but I was taking a separate bag for that, to take that to work, to keep it as neat as I could. So it just became a bit of a ball ache, as good of a book it is. But then that's probably why I should read it on Kindle, because it would have been free, but it was a present. So yeah, but I am enjoying it, but it is a long book. But that's what it's known for. It's known for being a long book, but it is a really good read. And I definitely fancy rereading it. But I think if I read it again, I think I'd really like just if we hadn't been going away, I wouldn't put it down. I'd just carried on. So yeah, that's that. So then I've got a couple of books I plan on reading. I at first didn't quite realise, I don't think, that right, okay. So I got 3 books from Confingo Publishers. These books were sent to me by the Tim at the publishers, and in order to review them. So I got 5 different stories by Elizabeth Baines and images by Laura Scott. This is 5 different stories about one thing. So I decided I wanted to try and read these, and I thought, well, it just gives me, I mean, they're nice and thin, gives me a break from something bigger, so I thought I'd give them a go. And then also, they sent me Sightings, which is by David Bevan, which looks like it's all about birds. And there's pictures in here as well, by Maya Sharp. They're just a small press in North Manchester. Didsbury, I don't know if that's North Manchester or what, but they're called Confingo. I don't know if you can see that. And then I realised that there's 11 stories in both of these, and then I thought, well, I think there's 13 stories in Paris Fantastique by Nicholas Royal. This was also sent to me by Tim as well. By Confingo Press. But yeah, so I'm going to read that. I think this is, from what I remember, so he's done 3 collections: Paris Fantastique, London Gothic, and Manchester Uncanny. So I'd like to get a copy of those 2 as well if I could, because I do like the idea of reading all those. I've not been to Paris, but I have been to London, and obviously been to Manchester, coming from down the road from Manchester. But yeah, so I thought I'd probably try and read like a story in each. Well, I thought I'd read that and that, the 2 shorter ones, alongside reading Paris Fantastique. I thought that'd be quite interesting, but now I read that says 5 different stories about one thing. I might just read that. I might just read 1 story in each one and see where I get up to. But yeah, I think they're really cool, the Confingo Press. I've got some more as well that I want to read, but I wanted to, because these were sent to me, I wanted to prioritise these. I've got We Were Strangers, Waiting for the Gift, and Fireside as well, which Nicholas Royal, the author of this one, translated that from the French. And then finally I've decided to pull out a graphic novel. Oh wow, that's a bit thinky at the back. This is Underwater Welder by Jeff Lemire. It's quite sad, really. It's about a guy who loses his dad at sea, which happens quite early on in the graphic novel, but it is signed by Jeff Lemire. I don't think I paid that much for this. But yeah, I just fancy reading it. I can't remember if it's, because I think I usually read it in 1 sitting or a couple of sittings, so, but yeah, I think it's got parts to it and stuff. But yeah, it's all black and white as well. But I love Jeff Lemire is my favourite, comic book artist, some really cool art. I prefer I'm not saying it's simple, because I don't think it is, but it's simple. It's a more simplistic style. I don't really like when it's overdone and it looks too digital. So yeah, Jeff Lemire, Underwater Welder, I plan on reading that. I was looking at pulling a comic book out, graphic novel the other night, and then I was too with my book, but I fancy sitting and reading that over the weekend at some point. So I've got Underwater Welder, 5 different stories by Elizabeth Baines and images by Laura Scott, sightings by David Bevan and images by Maya Sharp, Paris Fantastique, short stories by Nicholas Royal. I'm going to carry on with some more War and Peace and try and get that finished this weekend, or at least probably up to 1,000 pages, come on about 800. I'll try and finish this tonight, which sounds like a lot, but I don't plan on doing much other than read and relaxing with them. I had a long day studying and quite ready to just put my feet up and read 2 chapters of that, so I think I'm going to try and read a chapter of this, a couple of chapters in that, and then maybe chill for a bit, and then maybe read a couple of short stories or something, or start my comic book. But yeah, that's my weekend reads. I've got my son as well, which means I probably won't get as much reading done as I would like, but I think it's good to be ambitious with reading. I think it's good to be ambitious with anything. If I get to half of that, or if I even, if the only thing I don't read is War and Peace or something, then I'd be quite happy. But I feel like I want to try, and now I've got 3 current books on me. I'm currently reading on Goodreads. I'd like to get them down to 1 or none. Well, none and then 1. So we'll see. But I'm just going to make a cup of tea or a coffee, and I'm going to sit and I'm going to just read now for the weekend. I will try and make my video on the books up there, because I think there might be 19 books. Maybe the Sympathiser fell. I think Sympathiser fell into March actually, so I think it's 18 books to go through from the first 2 months. So yeah, so that's my plan for this weekend. What's everyone else's plans? Anyone got any weekend plans? I've got my son tomorrow and Sunday. Don't really have anything planned, but want to see what he wants to do. Maybe try and get to a charity shop, and I need to take some stuff. Which is a charity shop, so could do with taking some stuff to the charity shop and not buying any books, because I am on a book ban. Not a book ban, but I want to be able to. I think because I've got stuff I'm currently reading, I don't want to buy anymore. Whereas if I've finished War and Peace and The Committed tonight by some miracle, I think I'd then go tomorrow and then go, right, I'm going to start this now. But because I feel like at the minute I've got so many books on my shelves, and I didn't know I was going to start The Sympathiser. I didn't know I was going to read Committed straight away, but I was like, I have these series on my shelf, and I've not read them, or I've not read the first one, and therefore I can't read the second one, so I carry on with that. I'm also reading the Ed McBain series as well, so I've got the next one of that to read. But that's quite a thin one, so that might be what I read after War and Peace. But like I say, I'm not really. I wanted to do a March. I want to do a January, February wrap up, and I also want to do a year end wrap up because I've not got round to it. But I also want to do a. I'm not going to do a March TBR, or I might do, but I think I might try and wait till April now, because I feel like I'm still reading War and Peace that I started in January. I'm still reading. I'm not still reading anything else that I started in. Oh, well, I started You Are a Badass in March. So apart from War and Peace is the only one that's ongoing. So yeah. So I'm going to go and chill and read, and then try and relax and get an early night, and see my son tomorrow. Hope you have a good weekend. Hope you enjoy what you're reading, and I will see you when I do my wrap up for the first 2 months of this year. See you later. Bye.